Believe it or not, this is the very first time in my whole life that I've been to a true farmer's market. I'm so excited. Let's go check it out.
Do you know the area very well? Like, do you know where the Glen Norman is? So we're just in the It is 50% maple syrup. It is. No, because of the other thing. And although it's kind of bread,
Not yet. We're harvesting our pollen within the next couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Spring onions are done, unfortunately.
Okay, thanks.
One nice big one makes a beautiful salad.
I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I eat them all at once. Sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fun. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I eat them all.
Welcome back into my kitchen. My name is Colleen. Well, Sunday we went to the farmer's market, and yes, it was my very first farmer's market. It's not very common around here. Like, even when I lived in the suburbs, there was never like a farmer's market. I know in the city of Montreal, which I lived in the suburbs near Montreal, in the city they had big markets, but they were more like, I don't know how to describe it. A lot of it was food, but I don't think a lot of it came from true farmers. I think it was people who went to food warehouse things and brought the food. It was very expensive. I don't think I ever went to one of those. A lot of people told me about them. So I have never been to a farmer's market. It's not a common thing how you guys talk about it. And I was always so jealous. You guys always go on about, I mean, you guys, mainly Americans, go on about it. So I found one that was close to us. So we went to one in a city, a small city. I'm not going to call it a town. It's a small city in Eastern Ontario. So we went through New York. It's about a 30-minute drive from us. We just went through New York and went through the Canadian border on the other side. It's much faster. And it was a beautiful day, a lovely drive, and it was easy to find. It was in a perfect place. It's right off the St. Lawrence River. It's gorgeous, perfect parking and everything. And it's not a big market, which I preferred because I can't do a lot of walking. So that part was great. And the market was only about, in the video, you'll see maybe like 10 or 11 tents long on each side and maybe one or two vendors at the top. And it had, I'd say more than half of it was food. And then the other part was like soaps, someone selling dish towel things, honey. Well, I guess that's food, but different things like that, not all food things, which is fine. And everybody at the market has to be a local in the area, and it has to be something homemade or homegrown. So that was perfect. It checked all the boxes that I want because I always only want to support local. I don't want anything from a company or commercial. So we went, and the first thing we did was just kind of like walk the whole thing. I wanted to see what everybody had. And the main intention that I wanted to go was for onions, because our onions did horrible. And even drying them out, they did even worse. I thought like a lot of them had a soggy outside, and I thought by drying them out, by curing them, they'd do better, and they didn't. And I know it's kind of an off season right now for onions because the summer crop's finished and it's for a harvest, but nobody but one table had onions. But all the vendors were very, very nice. We chatted with a few of them. Everybody was very nice. All that part was fantastic. And then came kind of like the shock. So I'm also going to say that we don't grocery shop a lot, and we particularly don't vegetable grocery shop a lot because we grow most of what we eat and I preserve it through the winter. So we rarely buy vegetables. And I'm glad we don't, because I can't believe the prices. So I don't know if this is a fluke from this one farmer's market. So you guys have to tell me if this is the norm. Am I living in another world? I don't get it. So I'm going to give you a few examples. I tried to do some close-ups on some of the tables so you could see the prices. And I'll see if I can edit some that are like still shots. And any table that I did do like a close-up of, I did ask the vendor if I could video. I got everybody's permission. So I felt good about that. It's not like I was sneaking around trying to get some footage. I asked everybody's permission. So one of the things that stood out, these are just the things that really stood out to me. The first table we went to, this is my own zucchini. It's a very small one that I picked. There was this one table, that the zucchinis, I promise you, were smaller than this. And they were $2 each, or 3 for $5. And they're marked organic and everything like that. But they were smaller than this. It was almost a pickle. And they were $2 each. And I'm thinking, zucchini, really? This time of year? Like everyone's trying to find a way to preserve them and get rid of them. So that was a bit of a, I don't know. And then another thing, this is my own carrot, and I specifically got this one because another table had, again, big signs, organic and everything. They had 6 of this size, maybe even a touch shorter. They're like, look, size of my finger, a bit bigger. They had 6 of them bunched together of this size of a carrot, perhaps even smaller, for $6. So it's $1 a carrot. $1 a carrot. $6 for 6 carrots. I don't get it. Like, I know they take long to grow and everything, but $6 for a short carrot? Like, I don't know. Tell me if I'm crazy. And there was this I found kind of cute. Like you can get a basket of cherry tomatoes. Instead of calling them cherry tomatoes, which everybody knows they are, I guess for marketing and maybe you can up your price a bit, They were calling them tiny tomatoes. So I guess maybe that's a new way of calling things. I don't know. They're cherry tomatoes. They were calling them tiny tomatoes. And for just like one of those wee little cartons was $6. Again, that's something that just grows and grows and grows. It's in season. I don't know, spending $6 on a little basket of cherry tomatoes. And the same size basket, they had like regular tomatoes, and they could only fit maybe 3 in the basket, and that was $6 as well. So you're paying $6 for like 3 bigger tomatoes, or $6 for 3 tiny tomatoes. So it just, every table I went to, I was more and more surprised and shocked by the prices. And yes, it's organic. Yes, it's supporting small, I wouldn't even say a lot of them were farmers. I think just a lot of them were gardeners. And the other thing that I kind of got a chuckle over, I guess it's a bit of benefit having the knowledge. A lot of people put advertising on their tables. I took a shot of it as well, as non-GMO. Well, a local farmer, small homestead, regular gardener, we don't have access to GMO seeds or anything. Only commercial farmers or companies can get that. So again, I find that like a bit of not false advertising, but it's a gimmick to get people to think that they're getting something special when they're not, because we don't have access to that anyway. So I don't know. I just wrote a few things down because I was just like, I don't know. Oh, so the onions, I did find the one table, and nobody had onions, but I really wanted them. And I was going like also with the hopes of maybe it happens more in the fall with the root vegetables, but I was kind of going with the hopes where I could buy like bushels of things, like, and then maybe if I bought more quantity of something, I could get a better deal, because I often hear people say, oh, I bought a bushel of this, and if I bought 2 bushels, I would get a better deal. So the best I could do for onions, because I really needed them, was I got these 3 bunches, and I've already used one of these, so one's gone, and they're really good size onions. It was 3 for $12, so $4 each for these onions. And I don't think that's really a bad price, because they're really big and they're quite fresh. We've already cut up one and used it, and today I'm gonna cut up at least 3/4 of these and freeze them. And then I'm hoping in the fall, maybe we'll go back there, or maybe I'll try and find another one and drive a bit further. And in the fall, I can get them in a bigger quantity, because we go through onions like crazy and my harvest was horrible. So I don't know if I said it at the beginning when I was talking about how small of a city this was, that it's really a working class city. It's not affluent at all, the whole city. It's not, it's a working class city. So for even these prices to be in that part of the area they were in, I found that surprising. There wasn't a lot of people there. You could see by the crowds, it didn't change the whole time. Not many people were carrying around bags or had bought many things. So I bought a couple of other things. There was a sweet little lady though that had, or older lady, had some jarred stuff, and I was happy to buy from her. Often I'll buy something that I haven't jarred, and before I can it, I want to know if I like it or not. So we haven't opened this one yet. This was asparagus pickles. We both love asparagus, and I've never pickled it. So I thought we would try those. This was $7. And I bought some dill pickles because I'm not making any this year and I don't have any at all. And this was $7. I thought, expensive asparagus to cheap cucumbers, but She's charging $7 across the board. And this one we got were pickled mushrooms. And as you can see, we already eaten them. They're really good. They're little button mushrooms. And this was $5. So I was happy to support her. I know the cost of the jars, the lids, so I don't think she's charging more than she did. If anything, I was happy to give her more. She was a sweet lady. And there was one lady selling dish towels and that. And I'm a sucker for anything with chickens and roosters on it. So I just bought a towel that hangs over the stove. It's not really good quality at all. I have two on my stove right now that are really good quality that I paid a lot more for. But again, I was supporting a local artisan or craft person, and it's kind of cute. I don't usually like buying white because they show the dirt so much or stains, so I'll probably just hang it somewhere else that we won't use it as a towel. And the last thing we bought on our way out was corn on the cob. And probably in a week or so, I will be getting my corn that I will can and freeze for the next year from a local farmer here. That I can get from a local farmer. And I've been buying it from them for several years. We buy it in the big bags. I don't know if they're called bushel bags or what, but I get 5 dozen to a bag. And I'm going to get 2 bags, and I get a really good price. But we haven't gotten it yet, and we haven't had corn yet this year. So we both love it, particularly Frank. And this guy had a huge stand of fresh corn, and a couple of people were buying it. And he had a couple of them open, like this was open on the stand, and they looked really good. So I thought, okay, $8 a dozen, which I know corn has gone up, and that's probably the highest I've ever paid for a dozen corn. I know I've gone up to 5 or 6, but I don't think I've ever paid $8 for a dozen corn, but we bought it anyway. Supported a local farmer. Hopefully it's really good corn. And we brought it home that day, and even we had supper planned that night, but we thought, oh, we'll throw in a few corn. We're all excited. It's horrible. The color is good. It's peaches and cream. The color was good, but it's dry. It's hard. Like, it's horrible. I don't know if they left it on the stalks too long, if it was picked days before. So Frank's slowly been eating it. I can't eat it. To me, it's just not good. So he'll nibble on a bit of it. Then the chickens are as happy as can be because they've been benefiting from it. So we still have a bunch of that left to go through. So all in all, I don't think it was a great experience. I love the day. Like, we enjoy going for drives. We enjoy going outside. And like I said, the vendors were nice. The whole day was nice. But talk about shocked by prices for what you're getting. Perhaps the quality in the organic, non-GMO vegetables was good. But I think I'd starve before I would pay $6 for 6 little carrots or $2 for a zucchini that was the size of a pickle. I don't know. So let me know. Like, I'm sure, like in bigger cities, maybe you have way bigger competition at the farmers market. So there's like, if there's more stands, they have more competition with the prices, or they can offer things in more bulk. Nobody at this farmer's market had anything in bulk. Like, everything was in the little baskets. I don't know. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't good. Other than us having a lovely day for a drive, and I got some onions, but that's it. And we enjoy the jars, but I don't know. So tell me, was it just me? Am I being too harsh on these gardeners slash farmers? Were these prices exorbitant? I don't know. Let me know. because I think I'll give it a try again in the fall with the root crops. Maybe not that I need the root crops, but just to see how they are. Or I'll try and find another one. Maybe I'll try and find one in the States. Maybe if we go further into New York, I can find one. But I don't know. So that's my one and only time at a farmer's market. So let me know what you guys think and tell me if I'm being too picky. I don't know. Anyway, I have lots of chopping and preserving to do today, so I'm going to get on that right away. And I appreciate you so much for being here. And until we're together again, take care.